Welcome back, and thank you all for staying with us. As we speak, we know that next week the Uganda Airlines will receive its second A330-800 aircraft from the European aircraft maker Airbus Industries. This will bring to 6 the number of aircraft available to the Uganda airliner. The two A330-800 aircraft are reserved for the long-range trips, and tonight we speak to the Director of Commercial Services, Roger Wamara. Welcome to Talk of the Nation tonight.
Thank you, Sandra.
Well, we are literally looking forward for the second one to come, but the bigger question is, how are we performing at the moment?
Okay, COVID has hit everybody. I think it was only the bankers who mentioned that they were doing well during this time. So indeed, we have felt the pinch of the COVID pandemic. The COVID hits everybody almost equally. Businesses have gone down. The aviation industry is hit a bit harder because traveling requires testing. And you can no longer just say, oh, I wake up today, I want to go to Nairobi tomorrow. You can't do that anymore. Not only is that you can't jump up and travel, there's an extra cost. So indeed, we are feeling the pinch of the pandemic, but we're slowly coming out of it. And we feel that under the circumstances, we've received a lot of support from the Ugandan people.
All right.
And all our business.
Okay, so next Tuesday, Uganda will receive its second big aircraft. Many people love to call it big aircraft. Is it, the first one is not yet in operation, and we're waiting for the second one. When do we see this one hitting the skies?
Okay. First, we received the first one end of December last year, 22nd to be precise. It was a very exciting day. And we are getting the second one, slightly delayed again because of COVID and other factors. Just a slight delay. And it's arriving on Tuesday. In our language, Tuesday would be the second day of the week. And the second day of the month, February. February is the second month of the year. And it's arriving in the second year of operation for us. So for us, we find the coincidence. It was fortuitous that it's coming on the second day of the month. So it's very big for us. So we're very excited. We are preparing to receive it. The Right Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Uganda, will be the guest of honor. So it's a big event for us. Now,
when is it likely to start operations and hit the skies? Because that is, I know for a fact, it's
everybody
the
wants to know that.
Yeah.
In the first place, we couldn't fly the first one alone.
Yes.
Because you need to have the backup of the second one. So we received the first one, and we've been waiting for the second one to start flying. And in order for these planes to fly, they have regulatory requirements that civil aviation requires us to do. For instance, you need to test special evacuation, emergency evacuation. There are things they tested. Went with them to Toulouse, things they evaluated there. Some of our teams who did not go to Toulouse have to be evaluated on how they will perform on the plane. So these are still going on, and we are hoping that maybe in 2 weeks the test will be cleared. So hopefully, by the end of February, we'll be flying to our first destination.
End of February. Well, if you're to look at the current trends that we are working in, the challenges that we are facing, the bigger question is how are we, as Uganda Airlines, what are some of the strategies that you've put on ground to ensure that it is sustainable? Thank
you, Sandra. The airline business is very capital intensive and with very small margins. So you have to be very careful on how much you spend. It is highly capital intensive. You spend a lot of money, millions of dollars on those planes, but then you have to find out how to make sure that you save and you lower your costs. So we are very happy to know that under the COVID, we've cut a lot of our costs on admin issues. We don't cut on technical issues that affect safety. So the planes are safe, the teams are safe, maintenance is not cut, but all other expenses, we are cutting our costs. We have to realign some of the schedules we're applying. Where we are flying, we have reduced. Not fortunately, but also the civil aviation also dictated on how many flights we could make when they were opening up the airport slowly. So that also was a factor that limited the number of flights we could do. So you have to rationalize and said we have to go. If we had planned to fly 10 times to this destination, now we are flying, for instance, to Nairobi, we are doing 2 flights a day. In our plan by now, we should have been doing 3 or 4 flights a day. So we have adjusted to make sure we're not losing the public money, we're using your money very well, and we are running a very tight ship. Competition. How do we intend to outcompete our competitors, say British Airways, South African Airways? How do we deal with that?
Why should a Ugandan, I mean, you're supposed to be patriotic ideally, but why should I say I'm going to use Uganda Airlines instead of British Airways, instead of South African Airways? What is our strategy to outcompete
Uganda
the rest?
Airlines was set up on a model whereby we decided that we shall focus on key areas of service. We have decided, and we have since our launch provided a top level service. World class, we are determined to be a world-class airline with world-class service. So we've done that very well. We've got very good reviews from the public, and we are happy. We do receive some criticism. We thank you for that. So we're doing very well on service. Uganda Airlines has decided to be a top airline on on-time performance. We call it OTP in our business. So we are dead on time. We are a very punctual airline. We are providing very good fares. We believe we are providing affordable fares. When we came into the market, Teve Nairobi was one of the most expensive destinations in the world, route in the world. We came in and the fares came down. So with affordable fares and top level service, on-time performance, we are sure that we are going to attract more, as we have so far attracted more and more clients to our airline.
All right, and the future plans after this purchase, are there any future plans on table already? Aircraft equipment is one of the first things you do in an airline business. Now that we have the aircraft, we start now moving forward. We want to do cargo business has to grow. We have done a bit on passenger. We have not been doing a lot on cargo. So we are planning now, we are moving into the cargo line of business now that we have the bigger planes that can do cargo. Then we are now also moving into systems. We are growing. We are getting more developed systems. Our distribution system is getting, we started with a smaller distribution system, and now we are going to Amadeus, which is a higher level system, so that our sales will be easier to the agents and they'll be able to sell us better with the new systems that we are applying. So we are growing. We finished with the hardware. We are moving more on the software, and we are increasing our staff recruitment, and we are sure that the service is getting improved day by day. I do want to take you back to the issue of sustainability. We've seen some airlines really getting out of this business, and the issue of sustainability in any business is key. What are your strategies to ensure that this airline that is getting into an industry that has been highly affected by COVID-19 with other challenges is actually able to keep in operation?
Okay, like I said earlier, the airline business is one of the most difficult airline businesses to run. There's a joke in America that if you want to become a millionaire, you start an airline. But first you have to be a billionaire, meaning that when you're a billionaire and start an airline, you're going to lose money. So it's a business that loses a lot of money. So we are focusing on service and cutting our costs down. We are leveraging using the hub. We're getting passengers from Nairobi, from DRC, from all of our network, and taking them to these new destinations. We believe we have capacity to compete on the Dubai route. Entebbe, London, there's almost nobody flying direct between Entebbe and London, so we have a good leverage there. We'll be taking our passengers to that. Then we go to the trader routes, where most of the traders will be flying to India after Entebbe, London, and then to China finally. So these are routes we see that we have done the numbers. We see they are sustainable.
Business?
We have done our business. We've cracked our numbers. We are sure.
Have you carried out some research to ensure that once we have our 2 aircrafts, we'll actually have business? We've done a lot of research. We've used our own brains. We've used international consultants' brains to make sure we look at the numbers. We've crunched those numbers, and we believe if we do these flights right and get these passengers on the plane, this business will be sustainable. By the way, the airline business does not make money in 1 or 2, 3 years. No, it does not. It takes 5, 6, 7 years to start being profitable. We are asking our public to be patient. It's going to take a while, but we will make money in the long run. All right. Finally, Tuesday is not so far from today, and I'm sure Ugandans are looking forward to receiving the aircraft like we've always done. You already pointed out the issue that the guest of honor is going to be the Prime Minister. What are other things that we should expect on this day?
First, we'd love to have everybody at our party, but COVID requirements and SOPs dictate that we can't have too many people this time, like we did last time. Only this time we've invited a few people representing the trade, representing the business. We've called people, the travel agents and other clients and bankers and what have you, and all our different people have been supportive of us to attend. By representation, not all of them can come. So we are going to receive a plane in a special way. We'll have a party, we'll have a celebration, and then we'll display the plane to those people who are there to see to showcase this product. Last time we couldn't show too many people. This time we'll show a bit more people to showcase.
It's going to be a virtual event. We can see that. Is
you
that
can
possible?
see, but even those that there physically will go on board and see the product. It'll be physical and virtual. We'll be online, we'll be live on all our distribution channels. So please, Tuesday morning, Tuesday the 2nd.
Wake up looking forward to the day.
Look, watch NTV. Do not miss the launch of
All
the
right.
Airbus.
Thank you so much, Roger Wamara, who is the Director of Commercial Services, Uganda Airlines, speaking to us about the developments in the Uganda airline industry. Well, that brings us to the end to Talk of the Nation. Thank you all for joining us. NTV Weekend Edition will continue shortly.